In the case of this aquarium management is basically how we are making an aquarium or preparing an aquarium, and what are the steps that we have to do to ensure that the ornamental fishes that we are growing in the aquarium is healthy and free of disease and also growing well. So there are different type of animals which we are keeping in aquarium. Most of the time we are keeping ornamental fishes. Then people also keep small aquatic invertebrates, sometimes amphibians, sometimes reptiles and aquatic plants are also kept in the aquarium. So aquarium is actually basically an ornamental setup. Here you can see that if you have a very beautiful aquarium like this, most of the time it may cost 50,000 or more to to purchase if you want to purchase one like this. So it gives some beauty to your living room. That is why people are setting this aquarium. Then it is a source of pleasure. That is the main attractions of aquarium. So as far as aquarium construct location, there are a number of steps which are important in aquarium management. And the one such thing is the location of the aquarium. Regarding the location of the aquarium, we have to make sure that aquarium is placed in a position that gives it adequate sunlight and other environmental conditions are met properly. So as far as the location of the aquarium is concerned, if you are going to place an aquarium like this, so there are a lot of position in this room, but we only kept it there. If we want, we can keep it here. We keep it near that window. But there are certain problems if we keep it near a sunlight, which I will tell you. So one, it should be away from the noise. That's an important factor. For example, if there is some instrument, for example, if you are placing it near kitchen, all the time there will be more noise. Sometimes the noise of mixie, and all this will be creating a lot of disturbance for the fish, and their lifespan will decrease. So that's the problem if it is having constant disturbance. And fish don't like loud noises, and constant exposure to noise will stress them out and eventually influence their well-being negatively. So that their health will be negatively affected. They will die at an early age. So another problem is that this is not very much applicable to you. Do not place aquarium near items such as radiators or fire. Right? If you go to the Western countries like Europe or America or Canada or other Australia, New Zealand, etc., they are cold countries, and most of the time during the cold season they will have an instrument like a heater, and that heater should be kept on, so that heater will be always emitting some heat radiation. So if you are keeping an aquarium near a heater like that, that will be creating lot of overheating. That will be giving the fish some kind of overheating or too much heat. So that is how so that should be also avoided. I will show you how a room heater will be. Even if you go to the northern India, you can see this kind of devices like room heater. This is how a room heater will be normally. See, these kind of devices are there. So these are all room heater portable. So they will be, it is working on electricity, and they will be, so this is a very portable type of oil filled room heater. So different types of room heaters are available. So the purpose of room heater is to produce, so if we keep these aquarium near a room heater, that will be creating now too much, causing too much heat for the fish. Then avoid placing it near strong natural light source such as window or skylight. So that, for example, if I am keeping this aquarium near that window, it will give them plenty of sunlight. One problem with the plenty of too much sunlight is that it will stimulate the growth of algae quickly. So after some days, you can see that the aquarium is full of algae. It is green in color. Once it is green in color, then you can expect that after some days this algae will die, and that will decompose and again make the water more polluted. So that is a problem if you are keeping it near window or near too much sunlight. Then keep the floor perfectly level. So that is also another. So most of the time we will be putting a thermocol sheet, so that even if some kind of vibrations are there, for example, we are walking, that itself will cause some vibration. So this thermocol will be acting as a shock absorber. So to some extent that will prevent this vibration from affecting the fish. Then here you can see another picture that is showing the aquarium. Then I will show you one more, since I changed it a little bit. So going to the next aspect of aquarium is how we are going to aquarium location we have discussed. Then filling the aquarium. So filling the aquarium means filling it with water, stones and fish. So before you start filling the aquarium, by the inside of the aquarium with a clean cloth and lukewarm water. See, this is an aquarium. The first thing that we have to clean the aquarium. And for cleaning, we can use a lukewarm water. That is a water slightly having a higher temperature. Normally, not the ordinary water. You can use warm water. And it is important that no detergent or grease cleaners are used. For example, if you are putting some soap solution into that, then if in case you need to use soap solution, you have to make sure that the soap is completely removed. If there is a little detergent, that will be causing problem for the fish once you have introduced the fish into it. So make sure that you are only using plain water or warm water, and you do not use any detergent. In case you are using detergent, the best thing is that you can fill the aquarium with plain water, keep it for 1 week, then again replace that water with another plain water. So after repeating it 2-3 times, the entire detergent will be removed. So fill the bottom of the aquarium with gravel or sand. Here you can see that this is a gravel. This is not perfect, very good, nicely said, but the basic arrangements are all there. The dirty water should be changed until the water stays clear. So that is also because otherwise, if the, for example, when you are introducing the gravel and sand into the aquarium, that will be creating some turbidity, and that will be reducing the light, so that you know that for some time it will be brown in color. But normally after some time it will settle down and water becomes clear. And if you feel that water is not getting clear, even after you wait, you have spent 1 or 2 days, then we have to remove the water again and introduce new water until the water becomes very clear. So decoration can be made of resin ornaments, natural stones, tree roots. So this is a very plain thing, but I will show you number of aquariums here. You can see that there are a lot of aquariums are there where we are using aquatic plants will be there. Here also you can find. See, we can see that there are plants are there. Sometimes wooden pieces are there. Logs are used. Sometimes some plastic materials will be kept. Sometimes artificial plants will be kept. So all these will be improving the beauty of the aquarium. So in order to enhance the beauty of the aquarium, we can use these kind of things. The people will be using lot of different types of materials for all this. Here you can see that. See, this is a very beautifully prepared aquarium. So, so that is why preparing an aquarium. See here you can see that. So there are number of ways by depending on the type of material. For example, using materials like this, very natural material. Coral aquariums are there. So if you are using such materials, the cost will be increasing. That is why most of the time, even for an aquarium with a minimum setup like this, will be, for example, if you want to purchase it from some shop, then they will be usually charging 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, up to 1 lakh or more than 1 lakh. So that is how expensive. Even for you, if you are not, if it is, you can use it as a business. So if you know how to raise the fish properly, then it is a good business. There are a lot of people, because nowadays people are building huge houses, beautiful houses, and they feel that if there is an aquarium in the living room, that will attract other people. So they are now ready to spend 50,000 or 1 lakh. Even if you go to some business shops, you can see that they have kept aquarium, beautiful aquarium. There are wall aquarium, inside the wall they will be kept. So it looks like a calendar or it's like a scenery. So such types of aquariums are there. But the only thing is that we have to give them good care, continuous service, Then all because people don't have time to maintain, and if you offer continuous regular service, they are need to pay. So usually people are using a mix of artificial and real plants. So if you look at these aquariums, you can see that both the natural plants as well as artificial plants will be there. The purpose of artificial plants is that they will be improving the beauty, but and because all because one drawback of the natural plants is that sometimes natural plants will perish, they will decompose faster. But natural plants are also needed because natural plants will give them oxygen that will help them in more photosynthesis, more food production. So that are the advantages of natural plants. So a combination of both natural plants and some artificial plants will keep the aquarium attractive and beautiful throughout the year. So that is why we have to use a mix of artificial plants and natural plants. So already I explained that. Then here you can see this is another. Sometimes you can see that these kind of beautiful colored stones will be used. These colored stones are a way of improving the beauty of the aquarium. For example, they will be using a UV light here, and when this UV light are falling on this aquarium, they will glow, and so that gives aquarium more beautiful look. That is why people are using it. Then adding electrical equipment to the aquarium, most of them time these are the basic electrical equipment. Filter will be there, heater, lightning, air stone, and thermometer. Filter is, you can see that there is a filter, and most of the time how a filter is working is that this device is contained in filter. What they are doing, they will be taking the water from the aquarium, and there will be a sponge like thing inside, and that will be while the water is moving through the sponge, the waste materials will be removed, and the water will be again pumped into the out. So this is how the motor is usually working. So the motor will be improving the quality of the water, make sure that water will be remaining pure, clear, and clean. So that is otherwise, for example, if you are not using that filter pump, we have to replace the water every 1 week. So if we are using a filter like this, maybe after 2-3 months only we need to change. Maybe after 6 months we don't need to bother about replacing the water. So that is one because it reduces our labor. So even though it is slightly expensive, still it is worth placing a filter always in an aquarium. Then another thing is heater. In our place, we don't need a heater because our room temperature most of the time will be 20 to 30 degree. But if you go to Europe, right now if you check the temperature of a European, and maybe it is around 15 degree or 10 degree. So most of the ornamental fishes are from tropical countries, and they prefer a tropical environment or a tropical climate where the temperature should be above 20 degree. So if we are growing placing the aquarium or keeping an aquarium in a country where the temperature is low, we have to use some kind of heater, or a water heater should be there, and that will be increasing the temperature and keeping it above 20 degree. Then lightning should be there because the lightning will be added. For example, you can see that this aquarium looks so colorful, so beautiful, and so clear because of the lights placed in the setup. So unless there will be fluorescent light will be there, UV light will be there, so different types of lights will be there, and these lights will be improving the growth of the natural plants also, and for fish also they also need light. So 8 to 10 hours of light should be there, just like the natural setup. We should not keep the light on 24 hours because fish is a living organism, just like human being. They also need to sleep. They also need to rest. So if you are keeping the light on 24 hours, what happens? That will be affecting the sleep quality of the fish. So if the fish is not able to sleep, what happens is that their health will be negatively affected, and they will die early. And because you know that most of the fish are very expensive, sometimes 500, sometimes 100 for a 1,000 for a pair. So if the fish is dying, it is loss of money for us also. Then you can see air stone, air pump, check valve, etc. There are different devices. These are the devices which are using as a filter, and you can see that through this opening the water will be taken out and purified water will be pumped out. Exactly the same pump is placed there, and this is the room device. These are the room heater, etc., and thermometer, etc. Then prepare. Then before that, there is one more thing: thermometer. You can also see this is the thermometer device. Then preparing the aquarium for the first fish. First fish means this is a very critical time. For example, you might have noticed that once you clean the aquarium and you are introducing some 10 or 20 fish into the aquarium, after 2-3 weeks you can notice that many of the fish die. The reason is that the first time when you introduce a fish into the aquarium, the fish will be having a very critical time because the aquarium will not become a natural setup because for example some kind of artificial for example the quality of the water may not be good, so that for example you are keeping the water for 1 month, there will be some growth of aquatic plants and there will be some a natural ecosystem will be developed. So this is one important factor that we have to consider. After adding water, add some natural bacteria which help to establish a natural. For example, you are introducing our this tap water into it. What you can do is that takes a little of pond water from in a glass and introduce that pond water into that aquarium, so that the natural bacteria present in pond water will also grow here. That is very important for the aquarium fish. So if natural bacteria is not there, harmful bacteria may develop. So that is the problem. So natural bacteria, that is also the problem. And with sometimes some people use too much antiseptic lotion. When you are using too much antiseptic lotion, what happens is that the natural bacteria which normally survive on the surface of your skin may perish. They die, and artificial harmful bacteria may establish. So using too much antiseptic cream or antiseptic lotion are never advised. So over the next few weeks, take the temperature, ensure that there is good circulation around the aquarium by adjusting the flow. So make sure that before you introduce the first fish into the aquarium, keep the aquarium running for 2-3 weeks in a dry, without introducing the fish, so that the natural bacterial population will develop, some growth of aquatic plants might have established. That is, the fish will be having a comfortable environment, a comfortable ecosystem when you are introducing them. So you prepare the aquarium today, you introduce the fish, and today itself you are taking the fish. There is a strong possibility that fish may die. So if you are, this is one important mistake most of the time people are doing. So do not introduce the fish. Prepare if you are preparing the aquarium on the first of the month, wait for some 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Then after 2-3 weeks you introduce the fish, so that you can reduce the number of fish dying. So aquarium is left around about 2 to 3 weeks for the bacteria to establish before adding the fish. Then you can see that lighting is an important thing. Lighting is also important for the growth of the plants and also growth of the corals and also growth of the fish. Improper lighting may lead to range of health and other problems. So lighting is an important thing in any aquarium. If the lighting is not good, we cannot see anything. See, even if since there is no light inside, we may not be able to see the fish properly. So lighting is an important factor in aquarium. Then people will be using different types of lighting bulbs will be used. So one important thing you can do is that you can use a low voltage bulb. Sometimes color bulbs will be there, and all will be reducing the amount. Nowadays, most of the bulbs consume only 5 watts, 3 watts, sometimes 10 watts. So low voltage bulbs are there. That won't be taking too much electricity, and sometimes there are aquarium illumination with 1 watt or 2 watts. So too much electricity may not be taken. So many aquatic specialists have achieved notable success by providing their plants with a level of illumination equal to 1 to 2 watts per 2 liter. There is an estimate of how much water, how much light you should be giving. Then color of the light may be preferred, warm light and cold light. For example, this is a warm, this is a, this the light we don't call white light. There is another type of light called yellow light, which we call as a warm light. So the difference between them, that white light contains higher proportion of red and yellow light. A white light that contains higher proportion of red and yellow light may appear warm, A light that contains between blue light is referred. So this is containing more amount of blue light. So it is appearing white, appearing like this, or we say white light. Other light which we call as a warm light is slightly yellowish because it has a higher content of red and yellow light. So this is an important thing, that as a red spectrum cannot penetrate more than 5 meters through clear water, photosynthetic organism below this depth would not be exposed to red light and will have high evolved ability to use blue color spectrum. That is one important thing that we have to keep in a natural setup. Red light cannot go beyond 5 meters. That is the maximum red light can penetrate. But blue light is not like that. Blue light can go deeper. So in an aquarium, if we are utilizing different type of plants, if some of the plants are growing only at the bottom of the plant or below 5, then you have to ensure that blue light should be used. For example, coral aquarium. So you need more warm, cold light or warm white light should be used. So depending on the type of organism you are growing in the aquarium, you have to prefer either warm light or cold light. So that is an importance of aquarium. Then as far as the feeding is concerned, feeding should be done regularly. The live fish, there are different type of live fish, the daphnia, mosquito larva, tube. Even for an aquacultural pond, if there is a possibility of introducing live fish, that will improve the growth of the fish, that will improve the taste of the fish. So here also, ornamental fish also prefer live feed. So if there is possibility, give the mosquito larva, tube fox larva, daphnia, but otherwise we can go for dry pellet food. Then precautions are there. There are a number of important things that we have to keep. So that one important, that never overcrowd the aquarium. Aggressive species like fighter fishes should not be introduced. Never shift fishes to water that is warmer, colder than the aquarium. Overfeeding should just because too much feed should not be introduced because they will decompose in the water. Then temperature should be between 70 to 80 degree Fahrenheit. Then glass pane of the front has to be cleaned regularly. Otherwise what happens is this front glass is not clean. So if you are keeping there are certain, for example, if you are growing certain snail are there, this snail will be keeping the feeding on the algae are growing on the glass, so that the glass look always clean and beautiful. Otherwise we have to manually clear them. Excess of waste material should be removed. So these are some of the precautions that we can do to ensure that aquarium is good. Then this is the biological filter. Most of the time this is the mechanism of the biological filter. Earlier this type of filters are used. Now this is known as the internal filter. This is known as external filter. What we were doing is that there is a corrugated sheet like asbestos sheet will be there, and that will be placed at the bottom, and below that there will be some hole. Above it will be introducing sand. So what happens is that water which is present on the surface will be moving through sand. When it is moving through sand, it will be filtered, and this filtered water will be settling at the bottom of the sheet, bottom of this plastic sheet, and that will be collected by this pump and will be again dropped at the surface of the tank. So this is how the biological filter, this mechanism of using the natural filtration quality of the sand is known as the biological filtration. Nowadays we are not using this biological filter. Problem is that maintaining biological filter is we have to completely take out the tank, we have to remove fish, and we have to remove plants, everything we have to remove. But if you are using an internal smaller filter like this, which we call as internal filter, we only need to take out the pump and then opening the pump. For example, you can see that this can be opened here. See, this cup can be opened, and there will be filter, a sponge like filter will be there. We can clean the filter once in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and we can again put it back, so that there is not much trouble. So that is the advantage of keeping the aquarium with an internal filter. This is how the external filter. Earlier, some 10-20 years back, I used to do this kind of thing. But nowadays, that time this internal filter was very expensive. Now it is very cheap, around I think 250 or 300 rupees. We will be able to get internal filter. So this is the principle of using a biological filter. Basically, biological filter will be utilizing the biological filtration quality of the sand, and the same mechanism is introduced in a modified way in an internal filter. So this will give you an idea of how an aquarium is working, what are the steps involved. So before when we are, if you expect a question, make sure that you set up, you explain all the things like aquarium location, then what are the materials should be introduced in the aquarium, then also how the aquarium should be maintained, what are the steps taken to ensure that proper lighting is there, and what are the measures to be taken for ensuring good quality feeding, then what are the steps as a precaution. All these points should be there in any essay dealing with aquarium management. So we stop here.